Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, a gigantic thing going on in BMX right now, and the title and thumbnail of this video is that there is a $90,000 prize purse contest going on over in Japan right now. It's called the Kimura A-Side Contest. It's happening in Japan, and there's two different riders who are going to win $90,000. A park rider and a flatland rider. Second place gets $18,000 and third place gets $4,500. Absolutely insane. And there's a quote in the write-up over on Vital BMX where you can find all of this information that says BMX veteran Ryan Nyquist told me that the biggest first prize he has ever seen in the sport was $60,000 at a past X Games. So the Kimura A-Side's $90,930 looks like the biggest grand prize in the sport's history. It makes me wonder, like, where is this money coming from for this contest? Are there companies that put this money in here? How's it all going down? There's not a lot of information as far as that kind of stuff goes, but the rider list looks like it's going to be really good. We've got Logan Martin, Kostya Andre, Brandon Lupos, Danielle Sandoval, Boyd Hilder's in there, Daniel Dares, Justin Dowell's in there, a whole bunch of different Japanese riders, I'm assuming, and I don't want to butcher their names. Then in the flatland side, we got all of the big flatland names that you know: John William Prevost, Matthias Dandois, Alex Jumelin, Vicky Gomez, Terry Adams, and then I'm assuming a whole bunch more Japanese riders. What do you say about this? It's insane. $90,000 for a BMX contest. And that pretty much sums up the need to know information from this write-up. There's nothing about the contest itself or where the money's coming from or how they put it together, organized it, or anything like that. Hopefully that information comes out, and hopefully they do more of these because, one, there's no street class. Two, there's no women's class for any of it either. There's just flatland, park, and I heard, I don't know if it was a joke or not, but in the video I'm about to talk about, someone mentioned rollerblading is also going to win the same prize purse. So just imagine that if all three of those are a thing, $90,000 times three. $270,000 between the three first place in those three categories. And as I said earlier, it could be the biggest prize purse ever in BMX. That's literally enough to put a giant down payment down on a house, or even in some areas buy a whole house from just one contest. Absolutely amazing. And I really hope that they keep this going and add in the missing classes, the street class, and the big one, the women's class, because they definitely deserve something like this. I know that they don't have to do that, but it would be awesome if they did, even if they lessen the prize pool just a little bit to allow those different classes in there. Either way though, I'm really curious to hear what you guys think in the comments down below about this. Also, just imagine if this was back a few years ago, whenever prize matching from companies was still an incentive that they offered for being a sponsored rider. $90,000 match to be $180,000 is a pretty dang good payday for literally anyone in the world. So with this, it seems like Vital BMX is the only one talking about the contest right now and covering it. Kyle Carlson is out there filming the contest. He put up a video of the first impressions of the course where he went around and chatted with a few of the riders, asking them what they would do with $90,000. It's pretty entertaining, and it did show some riding in there, so you can check that out, and the links in the description below, as well as links to everything else that I'm going to talk about in the order that I talk about it. And speaking of contests, there is some highlights up on Our BMX's YouTube channel for the first Toyota Triple Challenge of 2020 that went down in Anaheim in California this past weekend. The jumps are absolutely insane, and the riding is that much more insane because of it. Moving on from there, we've got a whole bunch of different videos to talk about this week, and the first of those I think is meant to be a product promo video for Brandon Began's Heaven's Gate line from Cult. At least that's what I'm gathering from this. There's not a ton of information there. They don't really show a lot of stuff, but there's a whole bunch of different parts on his bike throughout this video. They have stickers that say Heaven's Gate on them, his bars and his frame, for instance. So that's what I'm gathering from this. I do normally complain about product promo videos that don't show the product specifically throughout the video, but there's so much ambiguity in here that we don't really know if this is meant to be a product promo video, and the video in itself is promoting the product just because it's Brandon Began and it's Cult. Everyone's watching it and everyone's going to make the connection there that that's the product line brand name, and that's what this video is called, so I'm assuming that's what it means. We got into a huge thing last night in the live stream that I did about whether or not it means that it's a promo video. Regardless of any of that, the riding in this video is top notch, and what I love about Brandon Began's riding is that it's not so much about doing a million different tricks on a stock rail or ledge or anything like that. It's about doing super technical stuff on super technical setups. He's doing a lot of stuff that could literally only be done on the setup that he's doing it on, and that's what I think is so cool about his riding and what makes it so fun to watch. It's not just all of the million different things you can throw at something and anyone could go and try on any ledge. You have to be at that spot to try exactly what he's doing, and it's awesome to see. And he's also not just limiting it to rails and ledges. He's got sub rails in this video as well that he connects with different things, and a pretty big 180 to half cab down a double set with a flat in the middle. Hard to explain. You guys are just going to want to check this one out, and the filming and editing, of course, is on point from Vish as usual. And one thing that did lead me to believe that this is a product promo video and kind of lends to that is the fact that there's a whole bunch of different graphics that look like they're going to be the graphics for the parts that were included in the beginning of the video and one at the end. This video was really well done all the way around on all fronts, so I wanted to make sure I talked about it first rather than throwing it into the product section way at the end of the video where most of you are going to be gone by then. And then the next video I wanted to talk about and make sure that I included towards the beginning of this one, because I think a lot of people would enjoy it, is a video on Woodward's YouTube channel, and it's with Kevin Robinson Jr. Yes, Kevin Robinson's son, and Stone Keplar, and it's called Legends in the Making, and that is exactly the truth. If you watch this video, you can see how much these kids shred, and I think that it's important to promote things like this because this video isn't going to be promoted like the Brandon Began video where everyone in BMX is going to share it, but arguably I feel like something like this is just as important for people to see as that Brandon Began video. Kevin Robinson Jr., if you guys haven't seen him ride, is absolutely amazing. This kid's like 12, 10, something like that, and he's doing flares already. He's doing 360s over spines. And one thing I wanted to point out real quick before I stop talking about this one is that I've ridden with Kevin Robinson Jr. and seen him riding, and that smile that you see in the video that's constantly on his face is always on his face when he's riding. It just looks like he's having the best time ever, and that is all that it's about really when it comes down to it. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to make sure that I promoted this one for you guys to see. After that comes a video that's called Valencia Awakes. It's got 30 different riders in one city, Valencia, and they're all coming together to make one 30-minute video that's up on Dig BMX's YouTube channel. And it's a concept that I wish BMX companies would grab a hold of, even if it wasn't 30, maybe just 10 different companies each sent one rider to one city, all to film for one video, kind of like a Road Fools concept, kind of, but it goes on YouTube and everyone can enjoy this video that riders from different companies put out. Maybe you could even make it a contest. You get a couple different riders from a couple different companies going together in one city trying to film the best video that they can, and then we get to vote on it, whoever we think makes the best video out of it. It could just be really, really cool to see different companies working together in BMX for one thing and bringing us all together that way, and I think it would be really awesome to see. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that, but back to this video. It's 30 minutes long, like I said. There's not really any riders in here who I've heard of before, but coming together like this to make a giant project like this with 30 different people in one city in Spain is pretty awesome, and I'm sure that if you guys want a longer video for the week that you're gonna probably enjoy this one. And then for those of you who like pool riding as well as like hardcore death metal type music, not sure exactly how to pinpoint that, there is a video for you this week, and it's called Drain Brain, and it's from Nothing's Wrong, the people who have a zine or a print issue magazine. Not sure what to call that either, but they're in Australia and they're riding pools specifically to this type of music. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, you're probably gonna want to check this one out. That's the last video I wanted to talk in depth about, but there's a couple others that were worth mentioning this week. First, we've got We Da Best Mixtape from S&M, and then BMXFU re-uploaded a bunch of their 20 a G parts. Charlie Crumlish's was one, the intro, Greg Henry, just a few different parts from that, and I'm sure all of them are going to be uploaded as their next video should be coming out next week sometime, and I'm excited to see that. From there, we've got a couple different product related things to talk about. First, I know that this is super late, but I needed to talk about it and make sure that I talked about it anyways. It's that Colony for the rest of January is donating all of the sales from specific products to the Australia bushfire appeal, and that is pretty awesome. That's why I wanted to make sure I talked about it. I know I'm super late because there's only like 7 days left of January, but in the world of shopping and instant online clicking to order something, that could be considered a lot of time, so you still have time to get on there and buy something from Colony in order to help out the Australian Bushfire Fund. That's pretty awesome. Then we had a product promo video for Jordan Goodwin's Storm Signature Fork from Eclat. This one did show the offset and geometry for this fork, as well as the fact that it has a lifetime warranty, and it did show the fork itself. So of course, I always give bonus points to the people who actually show the product specifically in a product promo video. There's also a lot of really great riding in here, some big 360s, some big rails, some big just Jordan Goodwin riding in general. You guys know you're gonna like it, and you know if you like his riding, you're probably gonna want to click on it, so I'm gonna stop talking about it. From there, we've got a few interviews to talk about this week. The first is a podcast with Bobby Kanode. It's the Kanode Knows podcast, and this time it's with JJ Palmere. Then after that, we had a BMX in Our Blood podcast, this time with Paul Radosevich, a guy who works at Ray's and helps out with a lot of the building up there. I've listened to most of it, and so far it's been a pretty good listen. And with that being said, that's the last thing I had to talk about this week. If you guys enjoyed it or had any thoughts on this $90,000 prize purse contest, let me know in the comments down below. Let's have a conversation. And while you're down there, if you haven't yet or you're new here, consider hitting the subscribe button so that hopefully we can see you tomorrow for another video. I want to thank you guys for all being here and watching, and goodbye.